that's the coolest thing in the world. But I probably sound like a complete weirdo and a nerd because I'm a professor at this stuff. And I see how amazing this is. I love this, right? So the options market gives you the chance to go in and you literally can sell something that hasn't even happened yet. But it's not like you're selling something fake. You're selling something very real. You're just doing it in a way that um is easily convertible into cash. Remember, we talked about liquidity in class. Liquidity is the ease with which something can be converted into cash. That's all liquidity is. Anyway, let me keep going. So the other thing about investing that's really important is that you don't have to be greedy to invest. This approach, in my view, it works better for people that would be okay with taking a little less money if it's guaranteed than sort of some pie in the sky amount of money that's not guaranteed or very, very risky, right? So this is more of a conservative style. I'm more of a bird in the hand kind of guy, and I'm okay with selling the risk. So during 2020, when you saw all those stocks, anybody remember when GameStop and all these other stocks shot through the roof and they became these meme stocks and the price went up? And it was so what happened simultaneously, because I remember going on these runs with my wife. This is back when I was trying not to be the fat boys. I've been fat before. I ain't going back. And we're running, and I told my wife, I said, "Man, they're buying all these stock options." I said, "I don't want to." She said, "Are you going to buy some?" I said, "No, they're too expensive." Oh, but I would rather sell those options. Do you see? When the price goes up on something, you don't become a buyer, you become a seller. So I started selling the options more regularly when I saw the prices were going way up. So you can let other people take the risk. So let's do a quick example with real numbers. These are a little bit dated, but this was a real number that was actually on the market. This was Meta stock in early 2024. The price was 346. You could literally get into the app and you could look for what they call a strike price. And the strike price is the price that you're willing to sell the stock for, and people have to pay you for the right for the option to buy your stock at the strike price. So if you pick the strike price of 365 and gave it about a week, you can sell that option for $9.50. So every option comes with a time attached. It also comes with what they call a strike price. That's the price where you can then go in and or someone can go buy your asset from you. So the price of that option was $9.50. And so let's say you owned 1,000 shares of Meta stock. 1,000 shares of Meta stock would cost $346,000. You'd have to pay about half of that. So you'd really have to put up maybe half of the money, about 170. But if you think about what $346,000 is, it process it like this. The average home in America is now over $400,000. So if you're say comparing it to a real estate investment, you can't even buy a decent home anymore for that price. It's really hard to do, right? So literally you're taking an amount of money. If I buy me a house for 400,000 and I rent that house out, maybe I'll get a couple $1,000s a month. Maybe 2,500 or something like that. Well, in this particular example, if I sold that option on 1,000 shares, I would make $9,500. So my total investment is 365. My income, that's what it looks like on the grid. You can pick your strike prices and then it tells you how much you get per share. These are real numbers that actually pop up on a real chart that you can look up on any app. And so this number here, 9,499.70, is the amount of money that I would receive right then for selling that option. Right. So even if that's a monthly number, I actually think it was a weekly number, but I don't have it in my chart, so I got to go look it up. But literally, if that's a monthly number, process that for a minute. You tell me where you can go and buy a property for $365,000 or whatever that number was, and get $9,500 a month in rent out of that property after expenses. This is after you pay for the broken toilets and the taxes and fees and the property managers and everything else. The answer is no. You can't find that. That does not exist.